All right, chat. Without further ado,
What's in
it's
there?
me and your boy Kenny here, and we're here to talk about the 2023 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie that was absolutely insane. I was not expecting this. Kenny, were you expecting this at all? Like,
No, I'm almost like you. I like the first one. I wasn't in love with it.
right.
I thought the first one was cool. I was like, oh, it's great. I
Uh,
didn't think it was the shit. Like
right.
I enjoyed it. Like to me, it was an 8 out of 10. Like Simmons, like, oh my god, that movie's so
Right.
good.
Okay.
I'm
So
like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing that me and Kenny both totally agree on is the fact that Simmons loved the living out of the movie, and I just
first
didn't
one.
get it. The first one, and I just didn't get it. I thought it was good. I thought it was decent. But I didn't think it was the greatest blow my balls off, kind of Spider-Man movie ever. So when they announced this one, I'm like, cool, okay, they're gonna have a sequel, really chill, okay, whatever. And then it came time to see it, and it was like the first day or whatever, and I'm like, dude, I'll wait. Like I'm really not I'm not blowing my balls off to go watch this movie right away. And I got an opportunity to see it with my nephew, and I was like, okay, I'll just go out and check it out. Holy crap. Oh my god, I have not felt this good about a movie since Avengers Endgame. The way the movie makes you feel towards the end is absolutely phenomenal. The how they put everything together is absolutely I would say one of the best cinematography what is that a word? Cinematographies that I've seen in a long ass time. And to be honest, again, I haven't felt this good since Avengers. And there's been a lot of movies that have been pretty decent since Avengers until now. If you had asked me before what's your favorite Spider-Man movie, before this one came out, all right? If anybody asked me what's your favorite Spider-Man movie, I would have said Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. I would have said, that one was like the best of them all. And then a close second would probably be No Way Home. But that's only because I felt like they really hit us in the nostalgia, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they hit us with that crazy nostalgia feel.
Bomb.
So that has a special place for me. And then then the list goes all the way from there. But when it comes to this movie, now it is 100% hands down. This movie knocks them all out the park, man. I can't believe it, man. So Kenny, you by yourself, you just said, you know what? Oh, it was just gonna be like whatever, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, cause like I'm like, hey kids, you want to come? And they're like, yeah, sure. But like, I was hearing things. I'm like, okay, is it really that good? Is it like, because like,
did you see any reviews beforehand or?
No, I didn't really see any reviews. Like I just on Twitter's like, yo, that movie was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Like I said, like the first one was like it's an 8. Like it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But like to me, this is like, oh, here's like my number one. You know how people are saying like they're having superhero movie fatigue?
Yeah.
This
That's
shit takes it all away.
Yeah.
And this is like, there's not superhero movie fatigue. It's just all these movies now are done by the book, done by like paint by colors.
Yeah.
It's just, insert joke here, have big fight here.
Insert moment right here. You know what I mean?
Moment. It's all paint by numbers. And this shit just blows it out of the water.
Hands down.
A real comic book movie. This just makes me wish that all comic book movies were made like this now.
You're right.
Like, this is like how they should all like it's tough for a Spider-Man movie to beat this shit because the way like the cinematics, the cinematography, the angles, the art, it's like,
yeah,
how can another Spider-Man movie like
even top this? Yeah.
And that's not even talking about the feels. It's not even talking about the feels.
Bro, oh my god. Okay, so
the fucking feels.
Okay, so here's the feels for me because me and you, we're coming from an Afro-Latino perspective. Yep. We're coming from an Afro-Latino lens, and this movie really highlights that, and a lot more so from the previous one. And it really brings about the lifestyle of a people that isn't really kind of known in America. I mean, a lot of Afro-Latinos are just kind of lost in the diaspora, and we won't really like have a place unless we have our own communities within America. But this kind of brings it to the forefront, and you love the kind of representation that they put out there, because it's its own thing as opposed to trying to be inserted into something else. And the way that they present the characters is really respectful and really enjoyable. And you even showed like the food that they're putting out there, so that you could see kind of the culture of how that was all turned about.
Food, the
parties, and the language, and how they communicate. Like it was so good, and it was done in a right way, where you can feel that kind of homegrown feeling, like if you ever went to Venezuela, or you went to Panama, or anywhere else, and
New York,
in New York, exactly. It's crazy. They have a lot of the Afro Latinos and of the Dominican, Puerto Rican, freaking Panamanian, all out there. They're all over there. They're just not really as known as a lot of people might think about them in that space. And it's such a great feeling to see that in there. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, this is the greatest movie because I'm Afro-Latino. It's I generally believe that this is the best movie of 2023, hands freaking down. The story, the characters, and again, it's another coming of age. It is another coming of age, but the way that they actually have the character progress, and God, what's the word? Have his it's not a transition.
His arc.
The arc, yes. There you go. Thank you. The way that the arc of the characters, almost every character had an arc in the entire freaking show. It was great. Even the villain did. It was like amazing. I was like, yo, this is great, dude. And it was easy to follow. Was absolutely fantastic. I think this is now I have big expectations for what's to come. But
I think it'll be met, because it's basically they made it almost all at the same time.
Yeah,
and we won't talk about spoilers, but the way that it ends, I'm like, holy hell! It has me thinking like in 5 different ways. What they'll do with the next. We'll talk about that later on.
I mean,
it really has me thinking like, dude, are they gonna do this with this? And this
right?
And this?
Yes, exactly, dude. I mean, at this point, let's get into the spoilers. I don't even care anymore. I'm doing it right now. I'm gonna do it right now. In his set, I keep a check. Even on bad, nevertheless. Even on bad, nevertheless. Even on bad, nevertheless. And see what's up, bad, nevertheless. Keep it in the bad ways, even on tilt. Woo! You guys aren't singing. Are you guys singing? Let's go from the freaking beginning, where they kind of start off telling the story of Gwen, which was kind of a nice little twist. I was like, okay, so now we get to kind of get her side of the story, or her side of how everything came together and stuff like that. I thought that was a good approach to starting off the movie, because I was expecting, just another tell me how Miles is doing kind of story and stuff like that. And we really didn't need to focus on it. Why? Because I really felt like this was more of a Gwen story. I really felt like this was more of her story than it was Spider-Man's in this particular aspect. Why? Because from the beginning point and the end point was about her and how she is really figuring out herself, as opposed to just having Miles figure himself out. Now it's her turn to kind of come into, I guess, coming of age for her as well. So it kind of highlights her as well. So I thought that was really
lost.
Yeah,
and her feeling lost in her own
world, and they really focused on that, because the last one was just all about Miles. So I think having her have that arc as well, and putting all that emphasis on her really helped out Miles as a character as well, because I'm not saying we've already got enough of Miles, but I'm saying you can build one character by building up another. Again, the same aspect of a hero is only as interesting as its villains, like Batman, can also be applied to his friends as well. I think his allies, if his allies are interesting, the hero himself also becomes even more interesting. And now Gwen is very freaking cool. Like I think she's one of the most interesting characters in there.
Super heart-wrenching story and stuff like that. And what this movie does is capture what it means to be a superhero. And not just doing superpowers. It's like what is my secret identity, like protecting the people I love, doing this like this. and especially Spider-Man is like number one for that. Is
Yeah.
not just being Spider-Man, what it means to be Spider-Man, what it means to protect, and what you sacrifice. And
Right.
this movie does it better than any comic book movie has ever
As
done.
as thus far. Yeah.
Yeah, you really like, when she's going with her father and like she has nothing left to unmask, and the father's like, "You're under arrest."
Yeah, and you're like, okay, are you a dick?
"Fuck,
Like, are you kind of an asshole?
damn."
What's going on
And
here?
It does it better than any single film. There's no
Yeah.
other film where it's like, where Batman is just Batman. Like, it's not, it's like, what is it like to be Bruce Wayne and Batman, really? There's none of that. Like, it shows that how difficult it is to be this character.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
they actually, and the funny thing is that they actually got into that later on, as it's difficult to be that character for every iteration of the character. He has to go through loss. Like, it is mandatory for Spider-Man to go through loss in order to be Spider-Man. That is part of what makes him Spider-Man. And I was like, that's crazy. Let's get into the references. Bro, references were crazy. They showed Tobey Maguire. And they what was his name? Something
Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover was in there?
Yes.
Donald Glover. I'm thinking of freaking Lethal Weapon guy. Danny Glover. I'm like, what was he in there? What the hell? No, okay, yeah, Donald Glover. Donald Glover. But they showed the 3 Spider-Mans. They also had the reference to the other Spider-Verses, which was the MCU Spider-Verse. If you notice at the beginning, he goes, what was it, Miguel? Miguel says, "Oh man, you're messing up." When he was fighting the Hawk, right? He was fighting the Hawkeye. He goes, "Oh man, you're all these things are all wrong, and it's kind of you guys' fault. And don't get me started on Doctor Strange." And I was like, "Wait, what?" He was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" Yeah, Vulture. There you go. Yeah, he's fighting the Vulture. He's like, "Yeah, don't get me started on Doctor Strange and all the stuff that he's done." You're like, "Wait, what the heck?" So they are literally
they reference Venom.
Yeah, they reference Venom as well. Yeah,
Venom when he goes to the market.
Yeah, the Asian lady that's there when he shows up, she's just like, "Yeah, I've seen it all. Like, come on, like, yeah, like, bro, you ain't doing nothing that I haven't seen, bro." So yeah, he goes right in there. So they are merging this bad boy. The Spider-Verse is the multiverse. Like, it is literally the same, because when they did that tree, when they did that weird tree, when Miguel showed
oh yeah, that was basically from the show.
That was from the show. That was from Loki. That
Loki.
That tree was from Loki. Like, it was legitimately the same thing. So I was like, yo, they're really going in. They're paying attention to what is happening around them, and they're actually utilizing that within the movie, and it's not forced. It's actually really well done, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. The relationship between Miles and his mother was fantastic. The relationship between him and his father was freaking amazing. Yeah. And
even while he was Spider-Man, because he finally, like, I guess the dad forgave Spider-Man, so he's not like trying to arrest him all the time.
Right, exactly.
And he's talking to him.
And the idea that that he was again, spoiler, that he's not, or he is the original anomaly that that was the first one to cause the rift or the things to mess up in the first place, was kind of cool, because I didn't really see it that way. He got bit by the spider, whatever, but I didn't like the idea that, oh yeah, the spider is actually not even from this dimension. You know what I mean? It's like it's from a whole other area and stuff like that. They really put that together well, because they hid it within the first movie, and then now it's actually realized in this one. Now, it's kind of hard to tell if it was an idea that they put together after seeing some of the stuff, right? Or if that was something that they were going for from the beginning. We can't tell. And that's the beauty of it, is the fact that the Spider-Man in the first movie was that died wasn't supposed to die. But in the Miles Morales story, that's how Miles Morales becomes Miles Morales or becomes Spider-Man in the first place, is because he just replaces the Spider-Man that died in that universe. But now it's like, well, no, that's not supposed to happen. You weren't supposed to do that, and that was because you're an anomaly. And so that kind of reference there is really fucking cool. Let's talk.
You know what the thing is?
The
anomaly that goes back to what his mom said. You're gonna go to a place and I'm just scared that the people are gonna tell you you're not good enough, and
Right,
you're not
right.
like right. And like he wanted to be like it all fucking connects, and it all like means shit, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
damn,
Yeah,
man.
it's so
And
sick, man.
Jesus Christ, dude. And then oh, this is like basically the Empire Strikes Back, basically, especially with the way it ends, where it ends, you're like, what the fuck, man? What is supposed to go on now, man?
Yeah, yeah.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, don't let them. Yeah, don't let them tell you do not belong.
Belong, yeah.
Fuck,
Don't let them
man.
tell you don't belong, yeah. And then she gives him a big old hug and stuff. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great, dude. That's absolutely fantastic. I want to talk about the villains. The villains.
Ooh.
Okay, so the biggest character in the movie that had I'm sorry, the character that had the biggest arc in the movie, I feel, was Spot. Like, absolutely, like the way he became a literal god after he realized his potential to be able to just control everything on his own was insane. I love the fact that he became this puny little nobody guy, and then all of a sudden he was like, I realize what the hell I am, and now I'm gonna fuck everything up. You know what I mean?
And
like,
you know what's wild? He was in the cartoons and he was a jobber. He was like, you know,
yeah, I
I
think I remember that. Yeah, he was in like,
you remember sometimes he would like, you know, he would thwip, and then Spider-Man would have to use his spider sense to tell which hole to punch through. So
he could get him. Yeah,
that was in the cartoons and even in the comic where he's like, how do I fight this guy? And he's like, use your spider sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I punched this hole. And
it knocks him out and stuff. Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's a jobber turned into like this Omega level freaking you know, bad guy is one of the coolest things that they could have done with him, and I absolutely love him. Speaking about a character, oh, and also Miguel, which we got right here, Spider-Man 2099. Now we remember the ending of the first Spider-Man Spider-Verse, right? And it showed Miguel, like it was in the after credits. And it kind of looked like he was going to be an ally. And quote unquote, he is technically an ally, but the way he's manifesting himself in this movie was freaking brilliant. Now, I wasn't expecting him to be an adult. I thought Miguel in the comics was a teenager. I don't know.
He was always this edgelord. He was basically almost Spawn.
Really?
I remember I wanted to like him, and I didn't like him because he was just too edgy and mean.
Chat,
like, what the hell is this guy's problem?
Chat, how was the original Miguel Spider-Man in the comics? What was he like? This was he like an old edgelord as well? He was always thought as an adult. Okay, Miguel was always an adult. Okay, cool. Love the way he came out. Again, you have a villain who believes himself to be a hero. That is a perfect freaking villain. He sees himself as a hero and he's doing the right thing. You cannot tell him that he's a villain. So in that aspect, Miguel is a perfect freaking villain to be manifested. And the fact that he understands what he needs to sacrifice because he's been through it. If you mess up the timeline by saving somebody you're not supposed to, you will destroy an entire universe. Bro, I don't care what you feel for your dad or what you feel for, you know, the chief of police or whatever like that. Bro, if you save him, you will destroy everything anyway, and you will go through the same stuff that I did. Why would I let you get away? No, obviously not.
Right.
So,
but then you had but then that's the big thing. You feel like Miles, who loves his dad so like much, but also feels guilty because he's not being truthful and he can't really be, you know, his true self. So he feels like he's hiding for something, and then all of a sudden he's gonna lose his dad. Without telling him. Without showing him how much he loves him. Without showing that, it's like holy fuck.
Yeah,
like,
it's a. You know, I love the fact that they put these characters through this. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, it's like these are the hard decisions that you have to go through as Spider-Man, and they really put it together very well to where you can relate to it, because it's like you have to think about what would I do in that situation, and it's very difficult. I mean, it's like how do you, what are you supposed to do in that situation, and and you really can't think of anything because a lot of those aspects are out the window. Okay, so let's talk about some of the gripes that I had about or maybe you had some too.
I'm trying to think.
Let's talk about the convenience of Spider Sense. The convenience of the convenience of Spider Sense.
It's always been a
right, bro. I swear, the Spider Sense should be working when Miles literally got knocked out at the end of it. Like towards the end where himself knocks himself out. It's like, bro, any other Spider-Man would have had a spider sense telling you that there was danger literally right around the corner, and you would have dodged that. There is no possible way that you didn't see that coming. Are you crazy? Stop it.
But from what I remember, there's sometimes spider sense won't work with like another spider person.
He's not.
Like, the thing.
The other one
like,
wasn't spider. He's not a spider person.
But it's like him or something like that.
Yeah, it's him, sometimes, but he never got bit. It's just Miles Morales with his uncle. So that immediately doesn't work. He can't trigger himself, so it's him.
Yeah.
So he can't trigger. He doesn't see himself as dangerous. Hilarious.
See, some of the chat is saying it doesn't work against Venom because also Venom is.
Venom doesn't also work on the. Oh, okay. Very.
Spider-Man. So it might be a thing where it's just him, or it might be a thing
where it's literally himself. So he doesn't see himself as something where he can get punched in the face. Hilarious. Yeah, sure. Oh, okay, I'll let that go. Also, the motivation behind telling Gwen to watch this or to look after Spot, right, who was an anomaly or who was becoming an anomaly within the same universe that you knew was counterproductive to her being there because she already knew somebody that was there. Why would you send a teenager who has an affiliation with somebody in that same universe to go look after Spot when knowing that she could be compromised in that situation? You're sitting there blaming her for messing it up, not taking care of Spot when she had the chance, even though you could have sent anybody else. Why the hell would you send her down there to take care of this guy, knowing that she is a teenager and she'll probably end up fucking up the mission by going to go see him in the first place? And then you blamed her towards the end anyway. It's like, what? Why? Then you get upset when she does the exact thing that a teenager her age would probably do, which is fuck up the mission and go see her friend. So I thought that was hilarious. The motivation of Miles when he makes it back home was kind of strange to me because I figured he would take a beeline right to his dad. But instead he does this whole heartfelt thing talking to the mother, and then finally they realize that the dad isn't there. So to me, when he was there, it was like, why is he even talking to her? He needs to be like, where's dad? I need to go see dad right now, and go straight for the protection part right there. I thought that was kind of weird that they did this whole spiel of him talking to the mother and, I'm going to reveal myself to my mom and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's not your priority. You understand your dad is in danger right now. You did all this thing in the other universe to get to the other universe, and then when you made it to the other universe, you're like, I'm gonna take a break. It was like, what the fuck?
It was still 2 days and stuff like that.
But exactly. But
and he just knew stuff was happening, so like he saw his mom,
right?
He's like, mom,
Mom,
so,
I'm gonna show myself in there. To me, I was like, no, dude, take a beeline to your dad, tell him the truth and all that stuff. Another thing about telling the truth, Gwen, at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm pretty sure Gwen knows how to prevent the dad from dying without destroying the universe, and that is basically prevent him from becoming a cop, or prevent him from becoming a chief. Her dad was pretty much spared because he quit his job. She realized that, and it was like, if he doesn't become chief, they don't die, and her universe is completely fine. So I think she realized that and went to the next universe and had a chance to talk to the other two parents and didn't say anything. She was like, yeah, you know what, never mind, I'm just gonna leave and I'm just gonna go find them, blah 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 blah. She failed to actually let them get away without still understanding what the hell is going on. And at that point, I don't care if you're a teenager or an adult, at this point it's crucial that they know what the fuck is going on, because hell or high water, there's somebody stronger than you that is going to fuck up everything.
That
you know
is
what I mean?
True, but I think from like what I was like, she did it to like, hey, this is not my business to
right. That's the only thing that's the only thing where I'm like, okay, she kind of feels like it's not her thing, but
and that would be like, yeah, she's like, yo.
I think it's interesting, the motivation of all the characters. Another thing that is a little gripe to me is the motivation of the parents. The Spider-Woman was on a motorcycle and she's doing web shit, and you're pregnant. What the fuck?
Yeah,
what are you doing? Like, I don't care how.
I'm tired of
right? I don't care how confident. I don't care how
And,
confident you are as a Spider-Woman. You're in a
Yeah.
dangerous situation on a motorcycle and you're pregnant. Have you lost your marbles? And the
Yes.
same thing with Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Peter
I was
Parker
like, for
is
both of
dragging
them,
his
I'm like, just stop it.
bro,
Like,
please.
yeah.
Why?
That was one thing where I wasn't about that.
Right?
I'm
Like, what the fuck? Even what's her name? Mary Jane was like, yeah, do you take my daughter on this other adventure? It was like, well, he's done this before? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, no. Worst parenting
that
ever.
To me, just really bugged me, and I'm like, why are they doing that? Why
Yeah.
is like imagine like a villain? A villain is like, oh, you're pregnant. They're just gonna use that against you. Like that to me was just like, oh,
That's
you
true.
dropped your kid. I have your kid now.
That's true. That's
fucking
true.
like,
Yeah, they also know whose kid that is, and now they're gonna be like, okay, let me go get that kid. You know what I mean? I totally get that. Yeah, it's one of those gripes where I'm like, I don't know about that.
That to me was a gripe on
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like this lady's like, you look what you did. Look at this mistake you did, lady. You're fucking swinging
Looking around at a fucking
6-7 months pregnant.
dude. What are you doing?
Like-
Dude, talk about responsibilities. What the fuck?
Yes.
Like, you are not a good parent right now. You
Yeah.
might as well just be smoking a cigarette. Go back to your world, smoke a cigarette. You're doing the exact same thing. You're doing the exact same thing. Like, what are you, crazy? What is going on here?
Yeah,
So
I wasn't like, and I'm like, I couldn't give her a pass. I can't give Peter
Parker a pass. Neither one of
Your
them.
baby's
None of
like,
them.
You know, 1 or 2.
Nah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Right? Yeah. And that's the part where I was like, I thought they were supposed to be the good guys. They're the bad guys right there. No. But they didn't really get into if Miguel was the dad or something. I don't know if they were hinting at that.
You know, maybe. But
Yeah, I don't know
But,
how that works
That's
out.
just the thing. It's just like people are like, oh yeah, that's it. I'm like, no.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
no.
yeah. I don't know what's going on there. So
Both of y'all are shame on both. And then like at the end, okay, so when Peter's like, you know, we're in spoilers, it's like, then let's go. And he takes the baby, and I'm like, oh, come on.
right?
Leave
Yeah, he
that
does that.
baby
He's like,
out
you
of
ready?
here,
And then the
man."
baby puts on the mask like, what? This is not an adventure. Both of you could die, bro. What are you talking
Yes.
about? Stop being overly confident. Anything could go wrong and your baby loses their life because you're an asshole. Dude, what in the hell, bro? That's
Yes.
wild. That's wild.
Both of y'all, shame on you.
Shame on those parents, man. Well, okay, so let's get into the other references of all the other Spider-Man. They went into the Saturday morning cartoon Spider-Man. I saw that. And that was like that was the newer one that I haven't really watched. That was in there. They threw out a bunch of references to all of these other Spider-Man that I've never even seen before. I have no idea. Oh my god, I thank you, Dark Fox. I totally forgot about my favorite character in the whole fucking show. Spider-Punk. Dude, that guy is awesome, bro. I love that guy.
He's like, hey, how do you get cooler when you take off your
mask? Right? Dude, bro, that guy was fucking awesome. Yeah, they had the PS4 Spider-Man chat. Tell us all the Spider-Man that was in it that you saw as references. Tell us now. Okay. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Dude, that character was something where the attitude of the character was more interesting than the character's powers or abilities or anything like that. The character's cool, confident kind of swag, where he just wanted anarchy. He loved it. He reveled in it. Is totally the thing that I enjoyed with that character. I loved more. That's the first time I've actually done that too. I don't think I've ever liked Peter Parker more than Spider-Man in any iteration ever, actually. In this particular character, I've liked the character more than the Spider-Man iteration of said character. And that has to do with Spider-Punk. Just he just knocked it out of the park with that role. And he didn't get much of a role. I think, later on down the road, he'll probably get a little bit more. But for right now, 10 out of 10 for that character. It is spectacular. It is the spectacular Spider-Man. It is the amazing Spider-Man. It is definitely was one of those characters where I was like, I think I don't want to say gravitate, but I relate to a character like that more than anything. Not because he's a dick and he was going around stealing shit like in the other universe and stuff, but just his way of seeing things. I think the way that he saw stuff is kind of very similar to the way I see things, where the establishment and the way things are done officially are kind of ass backwards, and in order to shake things up, you have to have a little anarchy. You know what I mean? I love that. I absolutely love that. Spider Pink comes from a universe where he lives in a fascist United Kingdom, if I remember right. You mean Spider Punk? He said Spider Pink. I'm like, wait, what? Donald Glover was in prison and dressed as Prowler. Yes, yes, that was a really good reference as well. That was super great. Insomniac Spider-Man was there. Yes, the Insomniac one is here, which is what the one we're playing right now. That was really freaking cool that they actually added him in here, and he was like, wait, what's going on? That was really freaking cool. I wish there were subtitles because I didn't hear more of what Spider-Punk was saying. Really? I mean, I was in a pretty decent movie theater, so I could hear what he was saying. I got most of the stuff that he's saying. He talked in a cool, calm, collective kind of swag way, and that was freaking dope about it. I hate how Scarlet Spider was comic relief, to be honest, even though it was funny. Scarlet Spider, who is that? I don't think I know who that is. Wait, was it that Spider-Man who kept talking about himself in the third person? Because that guy was super cool. I mean, that guy was also comic relief, but he was really cool. That guy was super dope. I think he was, he kept talking to himself, was freaking hilarious. Was that Scarlet Spider? Yeah, okay. Yes, Ben Reilly. That guy was killing it, chat. That guy was killing it, dude. Yeah, he was like, so I'm going to see what's going on here. And now I can see that there's something going on the walls, but there's nothing here. Oh, Spider-Man is in the area where I could see where the anomaly is at. It's fucking hilarious. If you wanted that character to be a little bit more serious, then I think that character would probably need his own movie. To be honest, a lot of characters got, what's the word? Comic reliefed. If that's a word. A lot of those characters got comic reliefed. And, that's fine in my opinion. I think that again, this is a story about Miles Morales, about Gwen, and some of the other characters that you might like more than others are probably going to need to take a back burner anyway. So that makes sense. So yeah, that makes sense. I love how they gave Miles the idea of coming up with your own time bracelet. Yeah, that was really freaking cool. I kind of wonder why Spider-Punk was even part of Miguel's group. I mean, exactly. As much of an anarchist as he is, and even then, there was a part where Miguel was kind of fed up with Spider-Punk, right? There was a part where he's like, yeah, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you right now. He's just doing things. So you could tell there was tension in there, and that there was probably an instance where Miguel didn't want Spider-Punk to be even a part of the crew anyway. But again, it comes down to, and I'm getting that is where Miguel gets his recruiting mind from. He gets his recruiting mind from the skills of what the Spider-Man can do, right? Because he didn't want to get Gwen in either, but Gwen showed a whole lot of skill when she saved everybody from the helicopter. So he was like, yeah, okay, she's really good. Let's get her in. So I'm guessing that's probably the reason why he had Spider-Punk in there as well, even though he didn't really like him, but he knew he was on that. For any of you guys who are Spider-Man comic book fanatics, is there this many Spider-Man in the comics? Like the Indian Spider-Man, is he a real thing, or did they just make him up for the movie?
Right, I'm
back. We just got through talking about
Okay, wait a second. Before we go though, we talked about spoilers. We're just gonna do spoiler that ending, bro. That fucking ending. Dude, now do you think like Miles and Miles are gonna team up, or do you think they're gonna fight? Like,
no, they're definitely. He's gonna fight, and he's gonna trap him back in the same universe that he's at, and he's gonna find a way out.
How sick it would be if both of them
would do it, but no, the other Miles, the evil Miles, I think he's too far gone. I don't think there's. Really? Yeah, no, there's no way he's gonna save.
Jeez, but that would be sick as fuck, dude. Like that.
It would be.
He came out and he just looked clean.
He looked so bad. He looked dope. He looked his braids. His braids was fucking.
he looked gone,
It was bad.
bro.
It
He
was
looked too far gone.
yeah, it was
But how
amazing.
sick would it be if, like, you know what, they could maybe turn him around?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here's the thing: Spider-Man is the kind of person who says like, no one is too far lost, and especially
Right.
Miles. And
Right.
that's all Miles's thing is like, no one is too far lost.
Yeah, yeah.
We save everyone. We don't
But
sacrifice.
but I don't think that'll be the focus of the next movie.
I want to see that.
I think the focus will
That would
be I think the focus will be how is he going to get out of the said universe when he doesn't even have a bracelet now. So he's got to find his way out of that universe and get back to his own universe in time to save his dad. So that's going to be a whole thing. So I'm guessing the others, which again, spoiler alert, bro, they brought back Nicolas Cage. Yeah, right? Like,
you know
I mean,
what,
I love it. I love it. So I want to see that.
I think we're going to see Madam Web.
Yes, that's what I was going to talk about. So the Madam Web part, bro, dude, where is she? What is going on?
She's
because
come out. She's coming out for sure.
So here's the thing, you have Miguel as the big leader of this whole Spider-Verse thing, right? But I'm like, shouldn't Madam Web be the leader of this? What, chat? Please help me out here. What is the story behind Madam Web? I thought she was the original Spider-Man, right?
No, she's like the god of the fucking Spider universe. She's
Spider-Verse, right?
Almost like the one above all when it comes to Spider-Man.
I thought she was
like basically, and you know what's funny? She was played by Stan Lee's wife.
Okay.
So in the episode where in the cartoons where Spider-Man goes through all the different universes and meets Stan Lee,
right.
Stan Lee meets Madam Web and he's like, "Wow, what an exotic woman," and shit like that. But like Madam Web was played by she's the overseer of that multiverse.
Oh,
of the
okay.
Like, especially the Spider multiverse.
Okay.
So she's the overseer of that.
Okay, so then she's
like she's a bub. She sees it all.
She's getting her own live action movie? What the hell?
That's what I heard. I heard something about that.
Wow, what in the world, dude? She's getting her own live action movie. That will be kind of MCU or Sony?
It might be Sony.
It might be Sony? Yeah. Holy crap, that'll be nuts.
And there's talks of like doing a live action like Miles Morales movie. I don't want it.
Nah, I don't want it. I definitely don't want it. I don't want it. No.
Fuck it. This is the way Miles should be. And if he shows up in Adventure, he's a fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
I don't care. If he shows up in the next Avengers shit, he's a cartoon. I don't want it. I don't need a live action movie. It won't be able to hold a candle to this.
Not at all. Not at all. This one's knocking out of the park. This character has already been developed. Having a live action one will kind of distract from what they're having here. And again, I don't think Sony would go for that anyway. Because if Sony makes a live action
there
one,
was talks, but I'm like, nah.
Yeah, no, I really think that they probably won't do that. Again, there's certain things that aren't needed, and that's something that is definitely not needed. It is one of those things where like, can you like not try to milk something?
Yeah,
like
it's like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, dude, can you not just
we don't need
Yeah, just stop for a second and just like let something actually be good. That is, and stop trying to fucking milk something. Just leave it alone, man. The idea that you have these two Spider-Men that are kind of at odds with each other probably won't go too far outside of that particular universe. But like you said, it would be kind of cool to see those two characters come together and do their own thing. But I think that even with something like a story like this, I don't think it could be done with live action, to be honest. The CGI probably won't even like be up par as to how crazy. Like they went into fucking Lego World, bro.
World.
They went into like Lego World.
And not only that, like the panels, the way like one thing happens and another comic book panel comes out here, and like the explanation, it feels like you're watching one of those badass those.
What do you mean?
You've had those things where you see like those animated comic books things. I think you saw one of those one time about a good film, right?
Yeah.
Through those, but this is like the one where you feel like it's a comic book come to life.
Yeah, definitely.
So you know what it'll be like, Steve? It'll be like those damn Disney live action movies, bro, where you have this shit. We have the fucking best Miles Morales, Spider-Man movie
and then
here
they'll try
comes
to
the
like
cash
yeah,
grab.
and then
Like,
they
no,
try
we don't need it.
to
We don't need
they'll try to Lion King it. Yeah.
Aladdin. We don't need a Lion King. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
need a
they'll
live
try to
action.
Lion
No,
King that
we
shit.
don't need it.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. I asked the chat. How accurate are these characters to the like how many? What I asked the chat was, are there this many Spider-Man in the comic book universe, like in the actual comic books? And all the chat unanimously said yes. But they did say that the Indian guy is a new Spider-Man. He is a Spider-Man that's in there. But as far as Spider-Pig and Noir Spider-Man, Nicolas Cage, and and then what's it called, the anime Spider Girl too, they're all comic book accurate. Most are okay. So you're saying most are accurate? Okay. Okay, so saying Shutter, you're saying no, he's not. He was in the. Somebody said he was new. Somebody said the Indian Spider-Man was also new.
He's new, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm saying that's why I have you here, chat. You guys are the experts. I don't know these things. All I know is that having all of those characters, we saw. It felt like I saw thousands. It could have been hundreds. But it felt like I saw like 100. I'm gonna say hundreds. We'll chill out.
Yeah.
Let's say I saw hundreds of freaking Spider-Men in the background there. How is it that all of these characters can be in the comic books? How do these comic books even last?
Not all of them. Like
right? Like how are these comic books? Like you had a fucking what was it? A what was that? T-Rex. A horse one.
Cowboy Spider-Man.
Yeah, right. Like what is going on? Indian Spider-Man has been around. Okay, all right.
Yeah. There was a lot. There was a Renaissance. There was a 1402 Spider-Man who was in the 1400s.
1400s and stuff. Yeah, like old school stuff like that.
Yeah.
Holy crap! The chat said Spider-Rex actually exists. The freaking T-Rex actually exists. Wow. Why? Because fuck you. That's why. Don't think about it. Like, you don't know which ones are the jokey ones that they invented and the ones that are real. Now, we know that, they took liberties with the, the Spider-Man from the Saturday morning cartoon, and then the one I'm literally playing right now, which is the Insomniac one, and all that stuff like that. They just threw in references, but they did it right, bro. They did it right. It isn't player number one. Ready Player One. They did it right where it wasn't forced, and it felt good to see those characters actually get their little moment in the sun, you know what I mean? And to see them all come together in one universe was so freaking cool. And the idea that Miles Morales was able to kind of best them all, even in the way that he set it up. He was like, dude, do you even know where you're going? Like, no one knows, like, do you know where you're going? Do you know what you're doing? Where are you going to go? And he was like, no, I just got everybody out of that area so I can go back and set the thing up. Because the whole time they were chasing him, bro, I was thinking to myself, why isn't he invisible? Like, why the heck did he not go invisible the immediate moment? And that's literally because he wanted them to chase him. Yeah, he was. So, again, they're using the character's intelligence to get the audience to see one thing when he's redirecting him into something else.
Yeah, it's a magician.
Yeah, it's magician type of shit.
Yeah.
Now they really are trying to force the love connection between him and Gwen, but I honestly don't believe that that's going to be the final outcome of Miles Morales. I don't think he's going to end up with Gwen at all. I think he's actually going to end up with the girl that was at the facility, that she was a hologram. Really? Yeah. The way he was looking at her and the way those two were interacting, you could tell there were some sparks going on. No, man, that was it. The reason why she let him go is because she liked him. It was obvious the reason why she let him go is that she liked him. And the way he was looking at her too, you could tell that there was a spark instantaneous. So Gwen is totally just straight up like a friend or some shit like that, dude. I could see that. I'm already shipping them. Those two are guaranteed shipped.
You're king shipper.
I'm shipping it, bro.
The thing is also, he also is feeling betrayed by her now because.
Well, sure. I'm sure that by the time we do like a third movie and those two get back together, that they'll be friends and stuff like that. But I don't think it'll be completely different because she knew all along, and she never told him. So I think that will push him away from her. And he'll still be cool with her, but it won't be like the love interest that he had before.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, he's definitely him and the other girl, guaranteed ship, 100%. I'm already seeing it, yo.
Steve calling the ship.
I'm calling it, baby. It's there, bro. It's there, and it's great, dude. I like the idea that he's because again, it's coming of age. You look at the hot girl and you know the popular girl, whatever like that, and you're like, oh, cool. But there's always that girl that's just for you, right around the corner, and sometimes you neglect that. And I think this is a great story to tell where that character is gonna start seeing the girl that's right for him. You know what I mean? And that's freaking great.
What if we flip it on us and it's evil Miles that gets with the computer hologram and our Miles gets with Gwen and everyone is happy?
Oh yeah? Well, how about I flip it on you again? And how about maybe Gwen ends up with her? And you know, Miles gets with nobody. Yeah, exactly. There you go. So fuck you. How about that? There you go. So yeah, I want Miles and get no, nah.
I want that.
Nah, not at all. That ship has sailed.
Miles X nada.
That is one of those things that I'm already correct on. I'm always right about these things.
So now here's my top 3 superhero movies.
Yeah, go for it.
Iron Man, this Spider-Verse, and Logan.
Okay, that's really good.
Those are my top 3 comic book movies.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. Yeah, I'll put this on top 3 as well. I'd say Iron Man for sure. This one, and then Endgame.
Endgame.
I think that's top 3.
So you do Endgame instead of Logan.
Yeah, no. I think Logan was okay, but it was a tearjerker. It was a super tearjerker. Yeah,
the thing is, it made you feel.
Yeah. I was like,
you're talking Spider-Man.
You know what it was? Logan felt kind of slow. Like it
did.
It felt kind of slow.
It felt slow, but god dang, is it like a force of a movie, man?
Yeah. But yeah, I totally see that. So
and I think for a comic book movie, it's one of those where comic books are always just about action. You know, it's like Max said, it's about those moments that characters are having and stuff, and the impact that has been Wolverine, the impact that has been of taking care of Professor Xavier in the world they're in. So
yeah. Future Tentacles, their relationship has been established as friends, nothing else. He might have something for her, but she doesn't. So yeah,
dang.
that
Steve's
definitely
calling the ship.
I'm telling you, it's not there. In order for a relationship to work, both parties need to be interested in each other. She is not interested in that way. I guarantee it's not. I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna happen. Guaranteed.
Story of my life.
All right, so
Thank you.
Final rating.
It's a 10.
10 out of 10. 10 out of motherfucking 10. Without a doubt.
100%.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think this is the best movie of the year. I don't know what movies are coming out this year that is gonna blow your balls off, or that they're gonna announce right now.
Oppenheimer, whatever movie about
maybe I will say this. Maybe the Flash, because a lot of reviews are coming out with the Flash. A lot of reviews are coming out the Flash. Flash is killing it right now. So I will say that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see about Flash.
Oh my god, dude, Dune might be rough. Yeah, Dune might be rough.
Dune is a movie for people who like film, right?
Yeah.
Dune is not for people who like Fast and the Furious movie. They're gonna be bored. They're gonna be like, oh, there hasn't been a fight or an explosion. If you love cinematography, if you love film, if you love just, then you will like Dune. Transformers.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, so Transformers might. I mean, right now, I wasn't expecting this movie to be that good. That might be said the same about Transformers. I seriously doubt it though. I seriously doubt it. That's just me personally. I seriously doubt it though.
And then Indiana Jones is getting mixed and mid-reviews.
Holy shit, no. Indiana Jones is getting torn apart, bro. Indiana Jones is getting destroyed. I remember Simmons was like, hey, you guys gonna go see Indiana Jones? I was like, hell no, dude. That movie is getting wrecked, bro. Indiana Jones is a travesty. That shit is out. The Marvels, or what is it? Miss Marvels or the Marvels, I think it is.
I think that's November.
That's November,
There was Guardians. Did you see Guardians Volume 3?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
So,
movie's good.
And that was this year, right? That was this. Yeah,
Guardians
was this year. Yeah.
Spider-Man's better though.
Yeah.
but Guardians hit hard. Guardians was on point.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man
the Marvels. There you
blows
go.
it out
That's
the
what
water.
it is. Yeah.
The Marvels. You know, like we've seen the shows. Like I just, and the thing is Marvel movies right now are so paint by the numbers.
Yeah, they're because they're
like,
trying to build some like a final
it's
cataclysm.
just like,
yeah, and it's like
we said, action sequence here, insert joke here, action sequence.
Yeah.
You know, it is a very paint by numbers.
Man, you know what the worst of that was Wakanda Forever. Like the way they just forced jokes on serious situations was kind of weird. Like that moment when
the worst was Thor.
Oh God,
Thor
yeah.
Wakanda Forever was solid. Thor was just jokes.
Yeah.
Jokes. You like screaming goats? Well, get ready to hear it the whole fucking movie.
Yeah. I think Thor was forced throughout the movie. I think Wakanda Forever kind of forced it within moments, and it didn't work out well. Yeah, it was rough. Ant-Man was the worst. I mean, not as bad as Thor. Not as bad as Thor. Nah, man. If you could,
Ant-Man was good. It was still like it was good. It was
if I had the choice between Ant-Man and Thor, I would go Ant-Man 10 times over, dude.
Yes,
without a doubt. So yeah,
and like the best part of Thor was Gore the Butcher, but then you never see him. He had a great performance, and they're like, oh, what about when Gore's butchering gods? No, you're not gonna see it. It's gonna be off screen.
Yeah, whatever. It's that movie was, and you know what? What's his name? The guy who plays Thor, I forget his freaking name. He said he didn't want to do another Thor unless they drastically changed the character.
Oh.
Yeah, he said he wasn't gonna do another movie unless they drastically changed. But at this point, I don't think they care anyway because, they really weren't gonna make another Thor movie after this one anyway. Like it's just him and the Avengers at this point. So we'll see.
Yeah, if he comes back, it'll come back during like the Infinity Wars
or something like that. Yeah, so they don't give a shit anyway. So yeah, he's pretty much done.
Oh, and here's the thing: even though this is kind of like a world-ending event, it didn't like feel like right, like all these now movies have to be this world-ending event, and like, you know, it's just like shit. Just give us now. We just want more story. We want more things about
character development. We want more character development.
We want to feel. We want villains that also feel like
that have actual depth. We want villains that have depth. So yeah, that's something that needs to be. I think I think MCU needs to take a page from this and really really reevaluate how they're putting their movies together, because I hope the reviews of this movie come out and
Jesus Christ,
and that they show what it really means to have a good superhero movie, you know what I mean? And really put it together.
Exactly. Because here's the thing: even with the Disney shows that have like 8 hours, 9 hours to build this kind of development, there wasn't. There's none.
Dude, this is okay. Yeah, dude, that's the crazy thing, bro. This had the same feels as Endgame, right? I hadn't had this many crazy chills as I did in Endgame when he finally said Avengers Assemble, and then he had the whole crew behind him, and they were like, oh Bombaye, or shit like that, and then they were all there, and then that's the feeling that you got in the theaters, where it was like, holy shit, this is like they finally here, and this shit's about to really go down. That was the exact same feeling that I got at the end of this movie, and it didn't take 7 other movies to build to that point.
No.
Avengers Endgame took like what? How many movies was it to get to 50, Endgame?
Like 50 movies. Who knows?
I think it was like 7 or 8 movies to get to freaking Endgame. And they did all that to get to that point. They didn't have to do that in this movie. It was 2 movies, and they got to that point, and I got that same exact feelings when the music started to build. They showed her face, and then we got all the other Spider-Man that came out, and they all started to fly out and stuff. Dude, that was incredible. That was the best build-up to a finale that you could ever do. Once I saw her face and I start seeing the music cue, I started to realize, oh shit, it's over. I thought we were gonna actually get a freaking I was pissed off because I was like,
10 years of build-up.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what? 10 years of build-up. You're right. 10 years of build-up, and I got the same feeling. 10 years of build-up, and I got the same feeling in Spider-Verse than I did in there. And you know what's funny? The DCU has been trying to do that this whole time, and they just can't hit. They couldn't hit that mark. They couldn't hit the mark. But Sony did it. So you know what? Kudos to Sony. They're getting their shit together. I hope the next Venom turns out well. I don't think Morpheus made enough movie to warrant a sequel.
No.
But the Venom, the last Venom did, so hopefully they'll get their shit straight with the next Venom. And who knows? Maybe there'll be a reference to Miles. Venom doesn't have a Spider-Man to attack in the Sony verse, but it could be Miles. It could be. So that would be.
There was the hint like of the black goop in the last Spider-Man.
But that will be part of Disney's universe. That won't be Sony's universe. Yeah. So in Sony's universe, Venom has to have a whole different antagonist or protagonist to go up against. And I say why not Miles? Why not, dude? And if they make him live action,
Steve, you know what this is? This is like the DC animated universe, where the DC animated films are so far beyond
absolutely.
Now this just did it again. Just did it again. Like when you watch DC animated films, you're like, God damn! Like the dialogue, the action, the moments between characters. None of the comic book live action movies have this shit, dude. Like like when that Batman movie is like, oh, your code is a Omega Lambda 4 set. He's like, how'd you know? Yeah, because I'm Batman. And he's like, and I
so
will just
freaking
blow up
sick.
this planet, bro. Like shit like that.
Yeah.
Shit like when there's Lex Luthor. Like this is just proving now. It's going back to, oh yeah, the animated universes now are just better.
They just are. Now I will say lately the animated DCU movies haven't been hitting the mark.
They
haven't been hitting the mark, but there was a golden age of that shit, and
yes, there was definitely a golden age,
and we all know it. You know what I mean? So
maybe some of those people that went to make that Spider.
So to wrap it up, I think that I am now officially excited for the
next Spider-Man.
The next Spider-Man, 100% and you're
watching it day one.
Yeah, day one. And I never expected this. I really thought this was just gonna be another movie, and it's
gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be another good, another decent thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to iterate that I'm in no way, hyping this movie up because Afro-Latino references and stuff like that. I think this is a generally well thought out, well paced, well produced, and well actualized Spider-Man movie. And there's only so many ways you can actually tell the story of Spider-Man. How many fucking times do we need to know about, oh, Ben died and now Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man and he does Spider-Whip, and we get it. How many times do you need to tell us about the origins of fucking Superman? How many times do you need to tell us about the origins of Batman? There's so many times that these characters are out. It is very difficult to tell the stories of these characters in a really good, accurate way that is respectful to the characters and still surprises the audience. And they did it tenfold with this movie. Go out and go see it. Grab your kids, grab your wife, get them in the theaters, and watch this freaking movie. Watch it 10 times. It is absolutely fantastic. Best movie of the year. We even gone through the movies that might actually knock it out. It's not happening. The closest thing, it might be Flash, but we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see. But I don't even think Flash will give us as many feels. I think it'll be cool as shit. But I don't think you are going to get moments where you're
deep, heartfelt moments like that.
Heartfelt moments. Like in Flash, there's going to be some. Flash is going to be like, oh shit.
They did reference how his relationship with his mother is it going to be like a turning point for the character and stuff like that.
Of course. Yeah.
So there's going to be some heartfelt moments with him and his mother for sure. So we're going to see how well they do it. That's the key factor.
And the thing too, because like I said, at the end of the day, he knows that his mom has to die.
And
that's like Miles.
And
his father has to die.
The feels is going to be there. Yep. This is going to be crazy.
So
it's going to be there. So we're going to wait and see. Yeah. The movie's great. Go watch it. Enjoy it. I love the references. I love the representation. I love the characters. I want more. I can't believe that they're gonna make us wait for another movie to do this.
March.
But, until March.
Until March.
Wait, this year? Oh, I'm sorry. No, next year. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
March. So it's like 8 months or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
at
yeah,
least
yeah.
it's not a full year,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like it's March though.
March 29th, 2024. We'll see if they don't
Yeah.
push it back or anything like that, but I hope
Mm.
it turns out great, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that. Shouts out to Sony. I can't believe they actually knocked it out of the park with this. And I mean, I would like to talk to Simmons about this as well, because
yeah.
I want to understand why he felt that the first one was the best thing he's ever
Oh yeah,
seen. Like,
I think yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Like,
because
like,
because
me and
well,
you,
why
we-
is
we-
it that
probably
why
like
is
the
it
first
that
one,
why
the
is it
first
that
one was
me
like an 8 to us?
yeah,
It was
exactly.
good.
So
Yeah, we liked it. It wasn't
why
like-
is it that me and you like didn't like think that movie was like that spectacular? Like, you know, oh my god, it was the greatest thing in the world, but he thought it was the most amazing thing ever. You know what I mean? That's what I want to ask him.
Visually, visually, yeah, visually was
Yeah,
cool.
sure, visually, yeah,
and it was
because it's the first time
great.
we ever seen in that.
Yeah, like, and to me, the first one,
Oh, Keenix, thank you for reminding me.
yeah.
The music.
Oh, the music.
Yeah,
went so
the
well.
freaking music was great, man. Now, I'm more keen to the, you know, yeah. Say now, you gotta have the Post Malone in there. The Post Malone soundtrack, right? Like that was the coup de grace of the first one, and this one, it had some really great tracks. I really liked it. But honestly, I didn't hear any tracks that were iconic to me, like the Post Malone song. So that's just me.
Yeah, that song literally fit so well.
Yes, even as the character was singing it. So Post Malone did the track way before the movie even came out, and they were like flipping through the songs. They were like, "Wow, this is a really good song." Have the character sing that in the freaking movie, like badly, and you get the sense that the character is still coming of age. And just like we were kids. When we sing along with songs, we don't sing it exactly. We sing it how we know it in our heads.
How we hear it.
Yeah, how we hear it. So yeah, it's freaking great. So yeah, no, that is definitely 100% relatable, and you gotta love it. I've been listening to it on Spotify all day. Nice. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I actually need to check the soundtrack because there's a lot of good songs in there, but none that were like super iconic to me as of right now. Granted, the Post Malone song in the first movie, I didn't think it was iconic when it first came out either. It grew on me. There was
a Wu-Tang song though.
Yes, there was.
That part hit hard.
Yeah. There was a Wu-Tang.
That's why I need to watch it again, guys. Listen to the music, man.
Bro, there was this classic.
I want to watch it again.
There was this classic song that the uncle was playing when he tied Miles up in the basement, and then he spun him around. That was so fun. Oh my god, the way they were building up the uncle in that universe was so sick. And the fact that he was taking care of the wife after the father had died and stuff like that, and how everything turned out in that universe.
That was mafioso shit.
Yeah, it was so good. Like the
that was
feeling,
mafia shit.
It's the feeling of how he was like, it's like the uncle knew that, oh, this dude's an imposter. Who the fuck is this kid? You know what I mean? Like, here, let me take him outside and let me have my real nephew come in here, fuck him up.
When the mom says, "Oh, what'd you do with your hair?" It took me back for a second. I'm like, oh, it was his hair like a little extra messy.
Yeah. You know what?
Fuck, because he had braids.
The thing that took me back was the fact that she said, "Who's Spider-Man?" As soon as he says, "I'm Spider-Man."
After that, you're like, wait, what the?
Yeah, she was like, "Yeah, who's Spider-Man?" And I was like, "Wait, what? Like, what is going on?"
She said, "What did you do with your hair?" That was like a little hint. I'm like, is his hair a little extra messy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, dude had braids.
And
dude, we gotta drag Max to see it.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, it's man. Yeah, he's gonna see it. He definitely needs to see that movie. I was gonna say that
he's gonna get wrecked as a dad. Now he's in dad mode.
He's gonna get wrecked.
He's going to be crying. Dude. There's no way he's seen that movie without him crying.
Bro, man, dude, as an uncle, I got feels, bro. Dude,
of course.
Yeah, dude, as an uncle, I got super feels because, like, dude, like, what in the heck? Bro, it's nuts. And you see the transition of what happens to a child when he doesn't have the father in in his world, and the uncle is the one that is already a bad guy or doesn't have the morals as a father, and the son turns out that way. You know what happens when you don't have a father in your life, and your uncle is a villain. You turn out to be a badass. You turn out to be so fucking cool that you got the fucking dreads out, and you're fucking
braids and some badass Jordans.
And the badass Jordans, right, bro? You turn out to be a badass. That's exactly what happens when you don't have a dad in your life and you have a villain for a freaking uncle. You turn out to be a fucking awesome person. That's exactly what that guy is. I want to know more about that kid because fuck, he was cool. Because damn, he was cool.
He was cool. I want to see him fight.
Yeah,
see
man.
him team up.
You know, I want to see two cool people fight. Him and Spider-Punk need to fight. That's what needs to happen. The coolest fight ever. Two cool people. The comics, man. It's funny how you can stay true to the comics and not fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like like wow, it's not that hard.
This movie's that damn good. Like this is how much we're talking about this movie.
Yeah, we need to stop.
You know,
this
like
is
the first one. Yeah, we need to stop.
Again, I give this movie a 10 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic. I suggest you guys go out and watch it. You know, give it your honest opinion. I personally believe it's one of the best movies of the year. And we'll have to wait and see until the end of the year to see what else that we can.
I don't think anything's taking it out.
Yeah, definitely. So, thank you, Kenny, for showing up and giving your honest take on it. And thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys in enjoying the festivities, and we will definitely see you guys for the next interview. Peace out, guys.
Have a good stream, yo.
Indeed.